Welcome back, dear participants, and phase 2 of this workshop, that is structural elucidation. We shall see the structural elucidation taking an example of a molecule, and this is the example molecule, and we shall see from the mass spectra. Usually we see the mass spectra for the molecular ion peak, that is the peak at highest m by z value, and the base peak, and then is there any isotopic peak, like that we will see. As far as this mass spectra is concerned, the molecular ion peak is at 86. Okay, you can see therefore the molecular weight is 86, and you can see the base peak at 57, and there is no isotopic peak here. And if you see the difference, the pattern here, it is 29, around 29. These are the pattern, and this is the information we get from mass spectra, right? Let us see the other spectra, and since we have seen the molecular weight, that is 86, we can apply rule of 13 to calculate the molecular formula. This is the molecular formula calculated using rule of 13. Using that molecular formula, we can also calculate the double bond equivalent, that is equal to 1. This may not be exact, but yet we can do, no issue in that. Next we shall see IR spectrum. Okay, you can see in IR spectrum the zone 1 is missing, zone 1, 2, zone 2 is there, zone 3 is missing, zone 4 is there. Among the 4 important zones, we have only 2 zones present, that is zone 2 and zone 4. Zone 2, we know there are several possibilities: CH aliphatic, CH aromatic CH, or double bond sp2CH, or any other alkene vinyl CH, or aldehyde CH, carboxylic acid OH. All these are present in a second zone. In this, the peak, we can see carboxylic acid OH is usually broad, and therefore we need not consider it is sharp, and therefore carboxylic acid not present. And aromatic CH usually above 3000, but if you see the peak, it is below 3000, and therefore this CH would be because of the sp3 carbon CH stitching. It is not aldehyde CH, because aldehyde CH will appear at 2700, and therefore what we infer from this peak is it is the CH stitching frequency of a saturated carbon. Okay, that's what we infer from this peak. And there is one more peak in zone 4. It look like a carbonyl peak. Just we can see by the shape and intensity, we can definitely say it is a carbonyl peak. But there is another possibility, is CC double bond. Okay, since there is a double bond equivalent to 1, we can also consider. But you do not think there is a molecular, there is absence of oxygen molecular formula, because we don't get, we don't have information about the molecular formula. Therefore, this double bond equivalent may be, and therefore this is not confirmed, or okay, this is not confirmed information, because we don't know the formula. We calculated from molecular weight, and therefore it is somewhat approximate value. It may not be correct sometimes. Okay, but in CC double bond, that should appear here, or you should get a CH stitching, all those things. The possibility is very less for a CC double bond, and therefore this is the data from IR. IR we confirmed carbonyl and CH. And what about NMR? We shall see C13 NMR, and then we shall see proton NMR. In C13 NMR, we get 3 signals, and here we have a signal at 210. This confirms that this peak is carbonyl. This is a confirmation. In C13, if there is a peak at 200, around 200, then you can see it is a carbonyl. This is a confirmation that this is a carbonyl peak. That is another important factor. And there are other signal apart from carbon, and therefore there should be 2 sets of carbon in the whole of the molecule. It is not 2 carbon, it is 2 sets of carbon. It may be 2, it may be 4, or it may be 6, whatever it is. There are 2 sets of carbon present in the molecule. Now let us see, and therefore the C13 NMR, we confirm this thing. One is carbonyl is present, that we confirm. Another thing we confirm is there are 3 signals. That's what we confirm. And that too, among one signal is shifted, that is de-shielded. Okay, and therefore it should be adjacent to a carbonyl group. Okay, that is we can, among the 2 signal, the remaining one signal is due to carbonyl, the remaining 2 signal, one signal should be, and therefore CH2, CH3, we can think of that. Okay, we shall see NMR. Okay, in NMR we get a triplet here at 1 ppm, around 1 point something ppm. We get a triplet here, and we have a quartet here at 2.5 ppm. These two are important signals, and this quartet 3 hydrogen, that means it is a signal due to, here the integral value is 3, and therefore this must be a signal by CH3, and it is a triplet, and therefore there is a neighboring CH2, and therefore there is CH3, CH2, we can think of. Whenever there is a CH3, CH2, we have given 2 CH2, 2 protons. Almost here we have only 2 signal. I think we have finished. And therefore, this is the signal of CH2. This is signal of CH2, which is splitted into quartet. These 2 signal clearly says a triplet quartet. Usually a triplet quartet combination will say that is CH3, CH2. Okay, but the position will say which carbon is attached to carbonyl or an electronegative atom, and this CH2 carbon is attached to carbonyl. That is no, and therefore from here we confirm there is a CH3, CH2, CO. CH3, CH2, CO, and this is the information we get from NMR, CH3, and there is, okay, we shall consider this 1 ppm as A proton, and at 2.5 ppm we consider as B protons, B set of protons, and therefore A set of protons should be away from carbonyl, and B set of protons should be connected to the carbonyl, and it should have molecular formula at least 6. If there is a carbonyl, if you reduce carbonyl from this molecular formula, what you will get? C5 and H, right, it will be definitely less, C5H10 something you can get. Okay, let us, and this is the molecular formula of the compound, because if you calculate the value CH3, we have confirmed only this part. How I have added this another part? We have only confirmed this part. That means if you calculate the molecular weight of this part, that is 312, 3 carbon, C3H5O. If you calculate the fragment, molecular formula of the fragment, it will be carbon 36, hydrogen 5, 41, and oxygen is 16. Oxygen is 60, and therefore only it is coming around only 56 or 57. But the molecular weight is 86. But there is no other information. And if you want to increase, therefore only there are 2 signal, and we have to just multiply that, and there is a carbonyl group. That is the reason why I have just duplicated this on the other side, because of NMR. Why I duplicated the CH3 group, CH2 group on the other side of the carbonyl? Because we have already found there is a CH3, CH2, CO group, but according to the molecular weight it is not enough, and we need more. And if you calculate, if you minus 86 from 57, it comes around 29, that is equal to CH3CH2 group, and therefore we have added CH3CH2 group on the other side of the molecule. This is how we derived a structure. Okay, now we have come to a conclusion. We have to verify the structure whether it is correct. If you calculate the molecular formula for this molecule, it is C5H10O. Okay, C5H10O, and therefore now let us confirm. There are 5 carbon and it is multiplied by its atomic weight, it is 60. There are 10 hydrogens, that is 10. There is 1 carbon oxygen, that is equal to 16. If you calculate the total, it really comes around 86, and which exactly matches with the molecular weight of the compound, and therefore as far as molecular weight is concerned, it is correct. Let us see the fragmentation also. Not only the molecular weight, let us see the fragmentation. If in mass spectra, if you see the difference between 86 minus 57 or 58, we can take that equal to 29, and this fragment is equal to actually CH3CH2 group, and therefore we can say that this fragment arises due to loss of this part of the molecule, and the 57 leaving this part, and this part is the most stable part, and therefore it is a base peak, right? M by Z 57. This is the stablest fragment in this molecule. All of them exactly matches. And therefore this is the structure of the compound. We can also recheck with IR or C13NMR. If you take this compound for IR, we have only sp3CH, that you can see here. There is no sp2 carbon with the CH bond. Only sp3 carbon. Okay, that exactly matches. There is a carbonyl, you can consider this is this carbonyl, that you can see the stretching frequency. Okay, IR exactly matches. You can also see the proton NMR, and these 3 proton, we have seen the 3 proton. Actually it as I already told, it exactly give the ratio. 2:3 is the ratio of the integral value. It does not say exactly the number of hydrogen. Actually the number of hydrogens are giving this signal are 6. Okay, you can see this CH3 and this CH3 together, that mentioned as A, that gives this signal which has 6 protons. Actually here you can see the integral value is 3, but actually the value is 6. Number of proton is 6. That's what we say. We should not consider these integral values directly as hydrogen, but you can consider the ratio of simplest ratio of hydrogens is hydrogens are given here, not the exact value. And therefore this is 3. If you multiply it by 3 by 2, then you get 6. That may be also the exact ratio is 2:3, but actual hydrogens are 4 and 6. Okay. These 2 hydrogen, this value is 1 because it is far away from the carbonyl group. You can see this 4 hydrogen CH2, this is because of CH2, it splits into 4 because of CH3. By n+1 formula there are 3, and therefore it is a quadrate. All exactly matches. The value 2.5, the chemical shift value of this signal is 2.5. That indicates, that implies that the CH2 is connected to carbonyl carbon. All the data exactly matches, and there are only 2 sets of protons. Though it has only 2 sets of protons, all the CH3 protons are one set, and all the CH2 protons are another set, and therefore only 2 signal we get from proton NMR. If you consider C13 NMR, there are 3 sets of carbon, and therefore 3 signal you have, that is both CH3 carbons together gives one signal, and the CH2 carbons give another signal. The carbonyl carbon gives another signal, and therefore every spectra matches exactly, and therefore this is the structure of the compound. This much analysis you have to make at least in the beginning, then only you can able to clearly predict other compounds. Prediction of the structure is not very difficult as far as simple molecule is concerned. Therefore, you have to make this much of analysis, then only you can understand clearly. Prediction we can just make by just seeing few spectra, we can just predict the compound. It may not take even 5 minutes, but to make a complete analysis, that will be helpful for you to elucidate complex structures. Thank you very much. We shall meet with another structure. Thank you.